Hi, everyone. Welcome to Grab Your Keys. I am super excited to have a friend, an amazing entrepreneur, mortgage person extraordinaire on, Dave Savage. I am so excited after 2 years, I'm finally getting you on my podcast. So thank you so much. And what a perfect time to be on the podcast right now in the next couple of months. I'm sure in the next couple of weeks we're gonna launch this, and now is the time everyone needs to be getting in touch with all of their clients and customers. Can you tell everyone a little bit, Dave, who you are and what your company does and how it came to be a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So Dave Savage, I was the founder of Mortgage Coach. Prior to that, I was a top producing mortgage professional, built a mortgage company. But I had done a private equity deal a couple years ago. But I love the mortgage industry so much. And I'm also passionate. While I am a for-profit entrepreneur, I feel like the company we have is changing how people get into debt in America. And I'm very passionate about purpose and profits. And so today I am the Chief Growth Officer of TrustEngine. Mortgage Coach is our core product. And what we do is we help loan officers deliver better advice to consumers so that when they are picking the mortgage, they're picking not only the best mortgage to get the home, but they're picking the best mortgage strategy to have the home and achieve financial freedom. Because at the end of the day, people don't get loans because they want loans. They get loans because they want homes. And the biggest American dream is a homeowner with financial freedom. And so, I'm running a technology company that does that. I'm also the co-founder of a nonprofit called First Home IQ that is a financial literacy platform dedicated to helping more people get into home ownership in their 20s.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Um, what do you feel? I mean, you are working on all facets of mortgage with all different mortgage companies. What do you feel and you talk to so many coaching. I listen every week to your Tuesdays and your Fridays that you interview other loan officers, and I absolutely love it. What do you feel your three keys to success in the decades and decades that you've been doing business have been? The three keys to success.
Well, I mean, first, purpose and profits. I mean, I believe to have true energy and sustainable energy, if you're just working for a paycheck, if you're just working for a financial goal, you're gonna burn out or you're gonna hit a mountaintop and be good. So I feel that always having this, hey, I have goals about net worth, about how much money I want to make. In my 20s, I had goals about what car I drove. But those are not the big goals. It's purpose. Having a goal that is bigger than that. In my particular case, it's to reshape how America gets into debt, and I really believe that debt and how we get into debt as Americans is dysfunctional. There's a financial literacy crisis in America, so that's been a big thing for me. I've always believed, like I have something I call my code. And by the way, my youngest son graduated from college last year, and
Yeah, so
I wrote a
exciting.
yeah, it was exciting, and I wrote a document called My Code. It was influenced by Ray Dalio's book Principles, but while I didn't always say this is my code, I was always a documenter. Which, by the way, being someone who documents and has values and documents your principles is something that I've always done and has definitely been a hallmark to my success. Is just being very values driven, very purpose driven, very intentional about what I do. And then I think like the one piece of advice that I gave Jack, I said, one, have a code and document it. And two, never bitter, always better. Like just this philosophy of always, no matter what happens to you. And I truly believe no matter what happens to me, I will turn that into I'm going to get better, not bitter. Always better, never bitter. And that philosophy has really served my success and also just make me love what I do and turns work into joy. It turns
Absolutely.
problems into positivity.
Yeah, I absolutely love all three of those: purpose, the code, and never bitter, always better is so great. I've heard you say that for years, and I absolutely love it. I am a mortgage coach fan. We use it at Success Mortgage Partners all the time, and I think it's an amazing tool. With TrustEngine and marrying the two it makes it even better. How do you, I love how like a lot of our worlds sometimes collide. You are West Coast. You were in a West Coast entrepreneurs organization. I'm East Coast. I was in the East Coast entrepreneurs organization. How much do you think being an entrepreneur and having that entrepreneurial spirit helps you in the mortgage business?
Well, I think first of all, I think all the best of the best are entrepreneurs. There's mortgage entrepreneurs, there's real estate entrepreneurs, and so first of all, it creates sustainable success. By having whether you're an investor in real estate, whether you are a trader, whatever that is. But entrepreneurism is something that is just deeply rooted in my DNA. Actually, as a young child, I wanted to be an inventor. So like that was. I mean, I had a lot of. I wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to be a game warden. I had a period in high school where I wanted to be an architect. Then I wanted to be a photographer. But throughout my entire youth in life, it was entrepreneurism. I almost went to college at USC in the entrepreneur program. So I think it's very important. I think for mortgage and real estate professionals, I would push everybody to some way, somehow, be a real estate entrepreneur. I mean, it is AI proof. When you look at what artificial intelligence is here, I definitely have some philosophies as to how to be a mortgage or real estate professional for decades. You need to leverage AI, but I also think having investing in real estate, being really good at helping your customers understand how to invest in real estate, helping kids that are in their 20s, like, hey, you can house hack, you can buy a duplex, you can buy a triplex. Being able to be an entrepreneur and teach entrepreneurism, I think is, it's what I'm all about, and I think it's a winning strategy.
Absolutely. It really helps build the generational wealth that everyone talks about, but it actually it allows there to be a platform and a foundation for it. Definitely. And that's part of the purpose, which was your number one thing that you said with, Americans get into debt the wrong way. And we need to teach Americans how to not get into debt the wrong way.
Yeah,
Just a
and
lot of
most
debt.
loan officers. Yeah, sorry to talk over you, but most loan officers put people into debt in the wrong way without thinking like, hey, how is that going to impact your net worth in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? And yeah, I know your goal was to buy this house with this down payment and this monthly payment, but what about if you paid an extra 100, 200 and prepaid your mortgage? How could you become debt free faster? I think most loan officers aren't delivering financial freedom advice.
That's also because most loan officers at times aren't taking that advice for themselves
Good
and
point.
looking in the mirror to see that they really need to do what you're saying for themselves at times. So, what's one challenge that you have faced that's shaped who you are today?
Well, I am truly ADHD. I mean, I was a kid in school that, was forced to take Ritalin. I am truly dyslexic. And of course, in grade school, those were, horrible things,
Especially in the decade that you're in and the
oh,
age
yeah,
you're
no,
in.
I had to like go up in front of the school and or my class, and the teacher would, give me my pill. I'd take it in front of the class. I have to open my mouth, prove I took it. I don't think they do that to kids
Yeah,
anymore. But truly, the best things that happened to me. I mean, first of all, the building the callouses to remain positive. That was a blessing. But the big blessing is, and by the way, I took typing in high school
me
because
too. Me
the
too.
pretty girls. Yeah. And by the way, I took it because there were pretty girls in the class, and I
Well, I took
figured
it
I
because I
have
had
to. Yeah, I
to.
didn't have to. It was an elective, but so I learned to type pretty quick, and that was truly a blessing because as technology came out, like, oh, spell check, I'm on that.
Right.
Oh, CRM, I can put it in a computer and now I can remember it. Video comes out and I'm like, I've never misspelled a word with video. So things that were problems and challenges truly, are the DNA of who I am as a technology innovator.
Yeah, so I have family members that are dyslexic, and I'm a slightly dyslexic, if you can be slightly dyslexic.
You can be.
And
My daughter is slightly dyslexic.
exactly, people don't realize that there's slightly and then so severe that people can't even walk
Yeah,
in
well, I'm not
dyslexia. I
severe.
mean, it's just
I'm
so crazy. But it and most highly intelligent people are dyslexic and have a lot of attention deficit disorder stuff. So I think the calluses that you talked about do make us stronger, and I think all of us, I mean, who doesn't have calluses? You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, no, everybody
So
has hardships, no
yeah,
doubt. But those were mine,
yeah, I
and
love.
and I wouldn't be here today on this podcast had I not had those challenges and turned them into real opportunities for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So AI, you mentioned, moving with where computers and technology is taking us. Where do you feel that is evolving in the mortgage industry at this time?
Well, I think the first thing I want to say is it's accelerating. Like it's
Absolutely.
happening and it's happening fast. And for any mortgage professionals or real estate professionals, I don't think we've had the news of Rocket Mortgage as of late. I don't think that's your biggest threat. I think the biggest threat is people like you, Sue, that hey, you're an innovator. You see a better way of doing things, whether that's with AI, whether that's with Mortgage Coach, and you're adopting it. And so I think that the local professional, whether it's mortgage or real estate, first of all, you need to be an advisor. Like your coaching and your advice beyond the transaction needs to be your superpower. And then you need to use those things. I mean, I don't even say anymore that you need to use AI daily. You need to use it hourly. You need to like right now, I am currently working on like, hey, how can I take some of the long form content I have, use AI to create short form? How am I using AI to have better messaging and just do it better, do it faster? And if you're not doing that, like you're not modern.
Yeah, I put it actually on one of my screens. So I have AI on one whole screen. I have multiple screens in front of me. You probably see the reflection on
I
my
would love to
glasses
see that.
for those. And so I have AI on one screen, and sometimes I pop it in. And especially like if I'm coaching someone and I have the notes from their last session, I just started putting like, what should my 50-minute coaching session be? How can I improve how this other loan officer does this on my team? How can we, and I just throw it up there as I'm in my day. And it does make a huge difference. It totally tweaks things in a different way than you would expect it, and it is better.
I concur. By the way, one thing I'm doing for anyone listening is I keep my phone close here, but it's like another screen, and I've
Yep.
got
Chat right
Claude,
there. Yeah.
which I'm using. I got Chat, and I got Perplexity, right here, and I'm using them all day, every day.
Yeah. So those three that you just said, that was a good nugget, was which were the three that you're using every day?
Yeah, and then I also use Otter every day. So I am
Oh,
like
great.
taking notes right now, having a transcription of Otter. So if you say something that I'm like, oh, that was a good quote, I could like, what was it that she said?
Yeah,
And
I love that.
so just being AI and technology augmented is, again, I think it's a great way to win.
What's one piece of advice you use all the time?
One piece of advice I use
I
all
know
the
you
time.
already said don't be bitter, be better. So that's
Yeah,
one
well,
piece I hear you say all
probably.
the time.
Well, I'm
What's
going to
another
go.
piece?
Yeah. Well, I've got lots of them. I think I have
You
over
do.
39
Isms, Dave
things
isms.
in my isms in my code. But probably the one that I say the most daily to myself is have fun, play loose. So I adopted that phrase when my son was going from 8th grade. It was a summer of, I had coached him in lacrosse all the way, through 8th grade. And he was, going into high school. And one of his coaches, Brendan Fowler, if you hear this, thank you for this. He's the one that gave it to me. But he was staying over at our house and we were having a barbecue in the backyard. And I said, hey, Brendan, what's I'm used to driving Jack to the game and I'm his coach. And I'm like, hey, get ground balls and having tactical dad coaching conversation. And I go, but I'm not his coach anymore. And I don't think it's right that I'm the one giving him that advice. What advice do you have for me? And he's like, hey, kid like Jack, that's hardworking, that's got great coaches. The only thing he needs from his dad before a game is have fun playlists. And I wrote that down. And it's a mantra in our family because literally I would probably say it as he got in the car. Hey man, let's have fun playlist today. As he got out of the car, I know Dad, have fun playlist. And then I adopted that for myself. And so like before I go on a stage, have fun playlists. Before I get on a podcast, have fun playlists. Before I go into a big meeting, have fun playlists. So that's probably the advice and the mantra is have fun, play loose, and you'll perform at your best when it matters most.
How do you and I love have fun, play loose. I agree. You should have fun and play loose. And I'm going to start using that myself.
It's a lot easier said than done. But
it is a lot easier said than done for sure.
I don't always pull it off, but I actually feel like I'm pulling it off right now. I'm having fun and I'm playing lists.
Yeah. I have loved watching you evolve. I met you in 2011 and long time. And I've watched everything evolve to now TrustEngine and you building this TrustEngine system that you have. I love trust is one of my core values. So I love that it's called TrustEngine. I feel that as a lender, a producing person every day in the dredges with everyone, or in the great world of mortgage with everyone. I feel that using TrustEngine is so important. If somebody isn't using TrustEngine right now, why should they use TrustEngine for their business?
Well, first of all, in America, this is 2025, and distrust is the default in America. So we've just become a very cynical society. There's a lot of distrust. And when it comes to the mortgage industry, trust is everything. I mean, the people that are the most successful are the most trusted, and they're able to build trust systematically scalable. I mean, that was part of why we named the company TrustEngine, was that we believed that that was truly the most valuable thing that a referral-based local professional, that applies to mortgage, that applies to real estate, that applies to anybody that surrounds the family. Trust is everything. So I think going forward in the mortgage industry, you need to be able to anticipate the needs of a consumer. Got to use data for that. And in TrustEngine, we're being super smart with data so that we can be predictive who's most likely to buy, sell, refinance a home. We're working hard to help professionals understand that. And then we need to give them transparency, and we need to be able to automate advice and coaching so that they can, again, if all you're doing is closing a loan, like, hey, here's your rate, here's your payment, here's your cash to close. One, you're not building trust at scale. And two, you're going to get beat by the local professional that's powered by TrustEngine, that is anticipating the needs, using data. And by the way, using your own emotional IQ. And
right.
I did
being authentic.
Being authentic, being a code, getting better, not bitter, having fun, playing loose. So be this awesome human that's powered by TrustEngine.
Right. I think that TrustEngine also allows you to have confidence. So the people that don't have confidence, by having TrustEngine, it gives you confidence because it gives you the intel that you need to make that telephone call so that you're a lender for life.
No doubt. I mean, the two things that when I interview top producers, which I do for our YouTube channel, that they all have in common is, first of all, they have best practice ways of doing things that they consistently execute on, and they're confident. And by the way, they become confident because they have consistent practices, so they get competent. They get competent, they become confident. But no doubt, without like our company name is TrustEngine, but whoever you are, you need to have a TrustEngine, and you need to have a consistent way of delivering things, or you're never gonna, have the confidence and the success that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. As a parting gift to all the listeners that we are doing right now, how, if they wanted to get in touch with you for or your company for Trust Engine, or they're not using Mortgage Coach, which they 100% should, what, because it changes the game. You do become more of an advisor and a coach because you're showing people, something different than in that initial fee worksheet every single time. You're showing them graphs, their colors. It's just so fantastic. How would they get in touch with your company so that they can see what it would be like to take their business to the next level?
Yeah. So first, trustengine.com. And if you want to learn more about the nonprofit,
Right.
firsthomeIQ.com. I'm, very active for over 15 years on YouTube. So I'm interviewing top producers around what they're doing, how they're doing it. I want to interview you. I would love to get that scheduled. And then I'm pretty thoughtful about how I participate on LinkedIn. So follow me on LinkedIn, but I'm also on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind. And then I like Instagram. I mean, I think a lot of the,
I do too.
yeah, like I think I'm on LinkedIn because I'm trying to be a change agent in the mortgage industry and it's business. And, but LinkedIn, like I was jealous. Like I think I started using it 2 weeks after it started and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. You
Yeah.
take a picture, you make it look cool, you can share it with your family. Like, I
Yeah.
like it,
I
but I'm
love
not
it.
making,
I'm an Instagram. I love Instagram. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
love watching you and your children and watching your son be in his games and graduate. It's been so fun to see the people who are all over the United States who are our friends that we've grown up with virtually, become dads and become graduated alumni dads and then everything else. So and their sports. I just love every part of it.
It's,
So
it's been a wonderful life journey, and I hit 60 last year, so feel like I'm going into the fourth quarter, and games are won and lost in the fourth quarter. So I want to play this fourth quarter of my career strong.
strong, play hard, play loose. So
Have fun, playlist.
definitely for sure. So thank you so much, everyone. If you like this podcast, please share, please like, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Grab Your Keys. Dave, thank you so much. You're amazing.
It's an honor. Thank you for this opportunity.